Mets go into DC last night and obliterate the Washington Nationals in game 1 of the series 8-1. We are talking about last night's performance and also previewing tonight's upcoming matchup in game 2, where the Mets are trying to take their second straight series in a row. First it was the Mariners, now they're trying to do so against the Washington Nationals, and that is now 3 wins in a row combined over these 2 series. And you know what they call that, Mets fans? That is called a winning streak, and it seems like we haven't had a winning streak in quite some time with this team, given how bad things really were. Are they back? Can they carry this momentum moving forward down the stretch of August into September? It's anyone's guess, but this is a really good start. What is up, everyone? Welcome back to the True Mets Talk podcast. Before we fully get into this video recapping last night's action, in which I was in attendance for, a lot of cheering from me, as you probably heard on all the short clips that I dropped on my channel of all the home run trotting that the Mets players were doing last night. It was a home run fest in DC for the Mets. Make sure to smash those thumbs up buttons on this video if you enjoy the content across this channel and talking about the New York Mets in 2025. Make sure to subscribe and comment your thoughts and opinions down below. Are the New York Mets back? Dare I say they are back, because this offense is rolling in the month of August. So many individual players in this lineup are having fantastic months of August. Brett Baty, who also hit his 14th home run last night. It was a second deck shot, and that was a moonshot. I mean, as soon as he hit that, it was an absolute no doubter. Brett Baty's on his way to his first 15 plus home run season, and we are finally seeing what he potentially could be as a semi-regular contributor on the New York Mets and in this organization. So that was really good to see. Mark Vientos hits his 9th home run of the season, which was also an absolute no doubter. You know, he is starting to come alive with the bat. I know it's only been 2 games, but I'm really loving what I'm seeing out of Mark Vientos. If he can get hot at this time, that's going to pay dividends for this New York Mets lineup that is slowly starting to figure things out. Juan Soto goes the opposite way to hit his 31st home run in his first season as a New York Met against his former team. It was just an overall awesome offensive performance, and you cannot forget about Jeff McNeil, who is also turning it on as of late. 3 for 4 for Jeff McNeil. Also a home run, 2 runs scored, 3 RBIs. He was doing everything at the plate for the New York Mets, and not that David Peterson needed that type of offensive outburst from this Mets lineup, because he was absolutely brilliant himself. And I think even more so, because I've been talking about on all the latest content that we've been doing surrounding this Mets team as of the recent weeks, the offense is figuring things out. They are putting runs up for the pitching staff and the bullpen collectively to try to go out there and accumulate some wins when it's been a struggle to do so as of recent. The offense is not what I'm worried about. And thankfully, we've gotten to this point of the season. It's late, I know, but the offense has finally figured it out. Now it's about getting the consistent pitching and getting any sort of replication from the starters of what David Peterson did last night. And he needed, and this Mets team and the bullpen needed, this type of outing from David Peterson. 8 innings. Forget 6 innings, forget 7 innings, 8 innings. When was the last Mets pitcher to go 8 innings? Please, someone tell me, because I don't even know. Was it David Peterson himself earlier this season? I don't know. Somebody comment down below, because I can't fact check myself right now while I'm making this video. But 8 innings. Ryan Stanek comes in for the 9th inning, was really efficient. Ryan Stanek definitely needed one of those outings. A scoreless inning across 12 pitches. 10 strikeouts across those 8 innings from David Peterson. The Nationals lineup had absolutely no answers for him. And this Mets staff is going to need to continuously do this. No, we're not expecting 8 innings of 1-run baseball from each of these players in this rotation. That's not a realistic ask. But I genuinely think between Kodai Senga's start tonight and Sean Manaea's start tomorrow, there is no reason why a single Mets bullpen arm should get into the game before the 7th inning. So that means Senga and Manaya should also be producing and following up on David Peterson's gem by producing 6 innings of competitive, efficient baseball themselves against a bottom dwelling team in the Washington Nationals. Now, I don't want to discredit the Nationals too much. Clearly, they are very far off from being a playoff contender in their organization buildup, but it's an MLB team nonetheless. And divisional games are always hard. I understand. But if the Mets are going to make a serious run and maintain their playoff spot in the wild card and also try to make a run at the Phillies for the division lead down the stretch of this season, these starters, not only David Peterson, but the rest of them, all of them, are going to have to start going deeper into ball games and start giving the bullpen the proper and necessary rest that they need after they have been burned out by a brutal stretch from the rotation in the weeks leading up to this point. So, brilliant job by David Peterson. Really good mix of pitches. He had everything working for him. And again, the Washington Nationals lineup, 10 strikeouts. That's all you really need to see to know that they had no answers for David Peterson. Um, it was just a brilliant game. Again, a lot of Mets fans in DC, myself included, was at the game, and it was loud. A lot of cheers for the New York Mets, and it was a Tuesday night, and the National Stadium is usually not that crowded. And I can tell you this, that the Nationals fans are not packing that stadium for this team at this point of the season, especially on a weekday. There were a ton of Mets fans in DC as per usual. Mets fans travel and they travel very well no matter how the team is doing. Really good performance. Need to see a replication of that tonight from Kodai Senga. And let's talk about this game very briefly. I don't even really need to talk about the offense too much because I'm very confident that on any given day, this Mets lineup can go out there at this point of the season, as they've been doing over the past couple of weeks, and put up 5, 6, 7 runs, just like they did last night. Brad Lord is going for the Washington Nationals. He is a reliever converted to a starter by the Nationals. I believe last month at some point in July, they gave him a starting rotation role to see how he would do, and he's been handling that role very well. So it's not going to be an easy task for this lineup. I believe his last outing was around 6 innings pitched of 2 to 3 earned run baseball against the Philadelphia Phillies, a very talented lineup that can put up runs in a hurry. So the Mets lineup is going to have a similar challenge today. But it's, again, the way that they're swinging the bat right now, I am confident in this offense against anybody. Kodai Senga needs to follow up his last start and produce something similar. He didn't quite go 6 innings last start. I believe it was 5 2/3 innings, but it was competitive baseball. It was efficient baseball. And the way that you go ahead and get deep into a game across 95, 96 pitches like David Peterson last night is limiting the walks. And that is especially true for Kodai Senga this season, where his walk rate is just around 12%, well above league average. That needs to go down. And I know that he's been pretty brilliant, in terms of getting out of jams and holding runners at bay and runners in scoring position and being really efficient with that. But it would be great to not see many runners in scoring position against Kodai Senga and not having him needing to dance around trouble every single inning to produce a viable start. Let's limit the walks. And this is not just Kodai Senga I'm talking to. Clay Holmes, same thing. This rotation in general, even Nolan McLean, his last outing, his debut, 4 walks. Can't have that happen because more often than not, you will get burned in the end by a decent, competent offense. Not that the Nationals are that. And maybe Kodai Senga can go out there and walk 3 to 4 hitters and still be okay against the Nationals. But things can turn very quickly, and it's better just to not play with that kind of fire. So really, really expect Kodai Senga to turn things around here down this stretch, and I'm expecting a really good performance in following up the David Peterson outing yesterday. This Mets team is going to need somebody, whether it's Peterson or Senga, and it really should be Senga at this point, to be the ace, to be some sort of ace and a dominant, consistent force for this rotation. I know that both of these pitchers aren't meant to be that, but that's what David Stearns and this front office entrusted either of these guys to be. Somebody has to step up and be that for this rotation. So really happy and hopeful that the losing ways are behind the New York Mets. And I'm talking about losses in bunches. Yes, losses are still going to happen across the 35 plus games that are left in this season. Everyone understands that, but limit the losing streaks. And I think this Mets team will be okay as they push to maintain, again, that playoff spot. Whether it's the division or the wild card, I don't care at this point. Just get into the playoffs and make something happen. So I will be at game 2 yet again tonight between the Mets and the Nationals to go ahead and see this pitching matchup live. So pay attention to the short clips on my channel. I'll be posting more just as I did yesterday and as I have been over the past couple of weeks on the channel. Make sure to subscribe, comment your thoughts and opinions, and as always, let's go Mets. Until next video, peace.